Hello, Hana family. Today's episode is about ghosts on ships. More importantly, ghosts on the USS Saipan. The USS Saipan is a Tarawa-class amphibious assault ship that was commissioned in 1977 and was in service until 2007. Since it's been decommissioned, I feel comfortable sharing these stories with you. Sit back and enjoy the show. When I was 22, I was stationed on the USS Saipan, homeported in Norfolk, Virginia. We have a couple ghost stories that I've heard of. The first, and the most creepy, is in the forward ammo hold. Some of the AOs, ordnance handlers, have always felt funny going into that space. One day, a couple of the AOs went into that space with a video camera. Upon getting close to the door, a green dot appeared on the camera screen and started moving around. Yet it wasn't visible without the camera. As they got closer to the door, the dot went away. Then the screen turned blue, and then black. Then the red record light went out. Later, the camera's owner sat down and thought about it, and realized that if his battery died, it would have all stopped at once. It wouldn't have just slowly turned colors and then died. Upon turning the camera back on, he had half charge. More than enough for the camera to have kept recording. He hooked it up to TV and watched the video with his friends. At the point where the camera shut off, the video turns to pure snow, just like any other blank tape. The rest is still there. None of the AOs will go in the hold unless ordered to, and then they don't go by themselves. Another Saipan ghost is in one of the engineering spaces. If someone falls asleep below deck in the engineering space and nobody wakes them up, somebody wakes them up. One story I heard was a guy that fell asleep, and while asleep, someone tapped him on the shoulder. In the Navy, we generally wake people up that way, no matter how deep a sleep you're in. A tap on the shoulder will wake you up. Anyway, upon waking up, he sees a figure go through a door and dog it down. Curious to see who woke him up, he goes through the door, and nobody is there. It's normally credited to the death that happened on board. One of the ladder wells leading down into the aft engineering space is where the death occurred. A sailor fell down the stairs and died. And every night between 0100 and 0200, the watch can hear somebody fall down the stairs, but no one is there. From time to time, people witness a figure walk out one door and into another, and upon investigation, no one's there. Someone else who used to be stationed on the USS Saipan had this to say. My only paranormal experience to date happened on the USS Saipan. I was in the Marines, stationed on the USS Saipan. It was late one night, and I was pulling watch. In the V-deck, it was early morning hours. The V-deck is the space for storing Conex boxes and vehicles of all types, from Humvees to tanks. The V-deck, and you can tell by its name, is in the very belly of the ship. In this case, it was only Humvees and Conex boxes. To give you an idea of how the layout was, you walk down a steep ramp that is meant for driving vehicles up and down. Once at the bottom of the ramp, you have a clear walkway to the back of the storage area. On the left and right, vehicles. Nothing but vehicles. Packed in so tight you can barely walk or maneuver through them. Like one huge, carefully packed accident. Now I'd walk down the clear path and make sure there was nothing out of place, or anyone down there in that area trying to tamper with things. It was early in the morning, around 2-3 a.m. or so. Light out was still in effect. There was a light, but it was very faint, very small, dimly lit to illuminate the very bottom of the ship. As I was walking, I verified that there was no one there. I was alone. And then I placed my head down for a second. I think I was reading a magazine or something, and then I saw out of the corner of my eye a very bright flash of light, like a photo flash. I got up and walked over to that area to see who it was. I honestly thought someone had taken a picture of me down there. But as I walked over, I saw no one. So I tried to investigate what might have caused the bright flash. For the rest of my shift, I tried to find out what had happened and why. There was no bright lights allowed during lights out. There was no way that bright light could reflect off any of the mirrors, because all the mirrors were folded in. Plus, someone would have had to walk down the V-deck ramp, which is only reasonable way down there except for the long ladder. Anyone who had entered the V-deck, I would have seen from my vantage point. I still have no idea what caused that bright flash of light. So, what do you think? Is the USS Saipan haunted? Did you ever serve aboard the USS Saipan? Do you have a personal story about a ghostly experience that you had on board? If so, I would love to hear from you. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Thanks for listening. Bye.